He was flung down by the explosion of a shell so that his face struck the distended abdomen of a German several days dead. The impact of his fall ruptured the swollen corpse. Before he lost consciousness, the officer had clearly realized the horror of his situation. He knew that the substance which filled his mouth and produced the most horrible sensations of taste and smell was derived from the decomposed entrails of an enemy. When he came to, he vomited profusely and was much shaken, but carried on for several days before he collapsed, vomiting frequently and haunted by the persistent images of taste and smell. His only periods of relief now occur when he goes far into the country, far from all that reminds him of the war and of this experience.
The Germans have left any number of booby traps behind, most of them intensely practical. They put a splendid helmet out for someone to pick up as a souvenir. Directly you touch it, off it goes, rather than the bomb inside does. You go down into the cellar and put your foot on a step, which sends off a mine. In another place, we found 3 empty coffins, labelled for Tommy. How the Boche would have laughed to see us.
For the first time, we marched in silence. A half-hearted song quickly died away. Perhaps for the most of us, there were too many memories and too many ghosts.
There were not more than 2 or 3 of us left that had seen it through since the commencement, and ours was supposed to be a lucky battalion. I expect we'd pulled off a 20,000 to 1 chance.
The better times. Editorial. We cannot say that the majority of us took to soldiering kindly. But now that it's all over, and we shall soon have our civvy clothes on, the reversion will be tinged with many regrets. Though some may be sorry it's over, there's little doubt that most of us have been cured of any illusions about the pomp and glory of war, and know it for the vilest disaster that can befall mankind.
There were not a few who said he was mad, or at least something wrong with his brain. But our doctor had been unable to certify that he was in any way not responsible for his actions. Suddenly, I hear great heaving sobs, and the prisoner breaks down and cries, and asks if we can sing. And we sat there and sang hymns for 3 hours or more. Then he said, "We haven't finished yet. We must have God Save the King." And we then and there rose to our feet and sang lustily 3 verses of the national anthem. A few seconds later, the prisoner was asleep. All night, I sat by his side. I watched the first beginnings of dawn through the window. At the right time, I wakened him. "Is it time to go?" he said. "Yes, it is time." He was breathing heavily, and his heart going very quickly.
To those who in years to come may ever read these notes, please remember, none of us regret our experience, but we have had our bad times. We have formed never to be forgotten friendships, but for the first time in our lives, we have known the meaning of hunger, thirst, dirt, death,